Hello, Orbiters. Welcome to the live stream. How's it going? What's up, everybody? I'm going to turn my noise off my ear. Otherwise, I'll hear myself on like a 5-second delay, which would be really annoying. Yeah. Johnny, what's up, man? Or here early, get on with it from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yes. I am well overdue for a watch of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So thanks for reminding me, man. I am so overdue for it. There's just like so much gold in that movie. Gosh, I mean, there's. But I don't want land. Huge tracts of land. I just want to sing. I love that scene so much. And I'm imagining somebody smacking cats on stuff. So much joy from that movie. Well, welcome to the Orbital Alliance stream on Wednesday night. We're back. Episode number 17. 17. Climbing up the ranks in episodes here. This is getting great. We're getting things rolling. Throwing a holy hand grenade on that idea. We take thy holy hand grenade of Antioch. I don't remember that whole scene's dialogue. It's always difficult for me to remember, but it's a very, very good scene. I should probably just look it up and thy holy hand grenade. What a ridiculous concept. What does he say? I don't want to listen to an ad. That's probably not good. All right, well, I don't worry about that. 1, 2, 5. Oh my gosh, it's so good. How are y'all? Johnny, Ron, anyone else who's in here? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you all here, my friends. This has been like a crazy week, a very good week. Just to play some catch up here. Big space updates that we'll definitely talk about. We'll definitely get in the into the mix there in a moment, but I want to share just a couple of fun personal things that have been like really, really cool. One, Johnny, you're on here, so this will relate to you, but my cross country coach from college, I went to North Central College in Naperville, Illinois. Al Carius, legendary Division III cross country and track and field coach. He's been coaching there for 56 years. Like literally, his first season there was 1966. And he coached me. He coached Johnny, who's watching the stream right now. He coached, probably thousands of athletes at this point. And he has like the most successful career of any coach in any NCAA division in any sport. And it's a tiny little liberal arts college in suburban Chicago, in the Chicago suburbs of Illinois. It's like 19 cross country, first place national championships. I don't know, it was like 15 track and field championships. And it's not even including the like second and third place awards in there too. It's like 48 consecutive conference wins for cross country. I mean, it's an unprecedented record for this coach. And he's just such a good man and a good person. Huge influence on so many people, definitely myself included, for his leadership philosophy, but also his philosophy for success, both in athletics and in life. And there's a huge story that goes behind his success, and even the kind of the rise and fall of this program as it sort of reached a kind of a breaking point in the mid 2000s where the program started to wane, and then they had this huge return, which was the time that Johnny and I were there. Is it over 50 now, Johnny? 50 consecutive conference titles? Okay, yeah, I'm not keeping track anymore. Goodness. Either way, even more Either way, catch that reference there. It's even more reason to be celebrated. 50 consecutive conference wins, and there was sort of a return from this like kind of dip in the program, the cross country and track program, when and then right after that, when Johnny and I were in there, the program saw a resurgence, and they brought back the like conference or the national titles and the success in the program. Really, really crazy story for that sports team. I'm proud to be a part of it. When I was there, I graduated in 2012, so we were there from 2008 to 2012. And, Al's still there. I think he's the assistant coach now. He's not the head coach of cross country anymore, because I know he's been battling some health stuff. And, I think they just decided to switch stuff up and carry the team onward in a new direction. But he finally wrote a book, and that's the whole point of me talking about this. I know this has nothing to do with space, but I thought it would be really great to share with you all. So I'm going to show you the book here. Run for Fun and Personal Bests. A recipe for long-term growth and success. The story of the North Central College cross country and track and field teams. Zoom in close here so you can see it. But this is written by Coach Al Carius. So that's my coach. And the streak began in 1974, Johnny says. Okay. So that's 48. There's 48. Okay. That is the right math, right? But this book, I just started reading it. I just got it in. It just came out last week. That's how thick it is. It's like 314, or not even. 260 pages. 260 pages. It's not that bad. Really great book feel to it. It's like nice matte finish. I love that. I love book textures and book quality. But I'm just so excited. People have been begging Al to write his book for probably decades. And here it is, finally, in our hands. Al's in his upper 70s now. Kooky, crazy, loving, fun, smart man. Who we all owe so much to. I literally, like, the person who I am today, most definitely is because of the philosophy that he's put together. Because his focus was like, hey, like, how does your college, your team, your cross country team, your track teams, like, keep winning? It's like no record for any other team or any other sport in any other collegiate division has this much success. Like, how do you do it? Like, there's got to be some training recipe that you have that's better. Are they sleeping more? Are they eating better? Are they running harder or running longer? It's like, yeah, they're all doing that stuff. But the biggest secret, the secret sauce for that success was build your athletes into better people first, then focus on the athletics and the performance. Because if you focus on becoming a better person, the rest will follow. The success, the results will follow after that. And this whole book, Run for Fun and Personal Bests, like, talks about that. And I mean, the whole point of, like, for that with our college was that there were no athletic scholarships given to runners or any athletes. It was a Division III NCAA school. So Division II and Division I, I believe, get athletic scholarships. So there's no money. If you want to be on a sport in Division III, you don't get paid. You don't get a penny to go to school. You only become an athlete in Division III if you want to be there. So you're choosing to do it for the fun of it, which is why I wanted to do it. I had zero interest in running in college for money. If I was going to get money for schooling, it was because of my academics, and nothing else. And running was going to be an extra, which forged even more reason to be adopting a philosophy for growth and life change, because there was no money and there's no incentivization to become a better person. You do that because you want to get better. Al, I mean, there's a billion quotes in this book that Al talks about all the time. And here's one from Johnny here. Only believe the things I tell you that are true. Yes, he said that all the time. Real Al quote. Sometimes, as silly as that sounds, the kind of stuff that Al would say, and he sounds like a philosopher when you're talking to him. He'd be the first one to tell you that he's not a philosopher, but he totally is. And I mean, it's easy to miss. People say a lot of things from public platforms or leadership positions, authoritative positions, and you can't necessarily trust them. So by saying only believe the things I tell you that are true, he's telling you, you do the discerning. You discern whether what I'm telling you is true or not, and then learn from that if you want to, you know, and also hold some responsibility for him to be telling things that are true and not false, which he was really good at. So, yeah. Anyway, I digress. I do recommend it to everybody. I mean, yes, this book teaches these leadership and personal life growth philosophical concepts like through the vessel of collegiate cross country and track, which maybe you do need to know a little bit about. But seriously, like, if you just want to get better, you kind of need to study all the okay, I'm gonna Josh, if you're out there, I'm gonna pull the Sith Lord quotes in there. If you're gonna be like a master, or like, you must study all its aspects, you know, the dark side of the light, right? Whatever Palpatine says. I messed up that quote massively. But you should be cultured a little bit. I mean, you don't have to be involved in sports to want to learn from one of the best coaches of all time. He's got his book, so highly recommended, and I just wanted to support him here. Fun fact, Johnny and I, we're in this book. There's a picture section. Where is it? There's like pictures in here, and there's in 2009 when our team won the cross country national championship in Cleveland, Ohio. There's a team picture in here, and Johnny and I, we are featured in there. So that's our one little our little heads are right next to each other in there. Little black and white pictures, but still pretty cool. We made it into Al's book. Nice. The foreword, one of the forewords in the book is actually written by a friend of ours, Frank Martin, and he wrote a very eloquent and beautiful intro to the book. So way to go, Frank. I don't know if you watched this at all, but cheers, man. You did great. Yeah, so super cool. Super, super, super cool. Just so much to learn from it, from him. And I think anybody, athlete or not, could learn about the fundamentals for being successful from this man in the cross country world. He kind of has explored those methods in. But anyway, super, super cool. So there's that. And then this is also just another personal fun thing. I'm a huge Weezer fan. I love the band Weezer. It's my number one favorite band of all time. It always will be. And it has been since I was like 15 years old. I've seen them live, 6 times now, which, I mean, I don't do concerts like much. I'm just not much of a concert guy. But when they're around, I go see them in like Chicago or Milwaukee. So they're not around that often, but when I do, so I've seen them a couple times. I love them. They came out with a new album called Seasons, SZNZ, and it's the spring one. They're releasing an EP every season this year. So spring, summer, fall, winter. And their EPs with like 7-ish songs on each one, themed around those seasons. So I'm going to actually make the Funko of the week. I want to say I used this one before, but I'm dusting off again. Rivers Cuomo, the lead singer of Weezer. I do have his Funko Pop right here. So there's Rivers Cuomo. Super, super talented vocalist and frontman of Weezer. He's the featured Funko of the week. But their new album's great. It's super fun. It's lighthearted. It feels like spring, like something's growing. They kind of like have this more reserved rock feel to it. It's like there's a lot of like influence from other places. I'm trying to name what they listed, but I think Vivaldi was one of them. I'm struggling to remember what they said on social media, but I'm like rolling over cables here. Yeah, I just would recommend everyone give it a listen. It's on all the streaming platforms. It's on YouTube if you don't have anything like that, Spotify or something. So look up Seasons, SZNZ, Spring by Weezer, and enjoy some lovely spring music, because it's spring now. Woohoo! It's March 23rd. So there's that. That's been fun. And yeah, just I feel like it's kind of cool to just like celebrate some wins this week. And then also I mentioned before, I've been kicking off my own company this year. So I started a company, formed a corporation, so for my video production business. So that is my full-time work. And YouTube, the Orbital Alliance, is actually my my hobby. This is all for fun. So every video I make, every stream I do, every tweet I post is just for fun if it's under the Orbital Alliance tag. But I've been like really rocking and rolling with my company this week and the last like 2 or 3 weeks actually. So things are taking off. There's some traction and I'm really excited about it. And I'll be doing a formal public launch of that hopefully next week, maybe the end of this week if things feel good. But yeah, it has a spacey theme to the name. So that's why I'm bringing this up, because it kind of ties in there. There's a lot of space influence, and the goal for the company down the line is for space themes. So yeah, well, actually, I'm an S Corp. I did explore the LLC, but my accountant advised me to become an S Corp instead. So, but thanks, man. It's official. Yeah, I've been a freelancer since I was in college. I got my first freelance job in 2011, and I've been working full time in other jobs since then. But I've been freelancing on and off. And then last year, I transitioned to full time freelance, and got enough work to make solid living from. And I was like, hey, it's time to make the move. So 2022 in January, I was like, this is it. Let's make a company. And that'll help with all the taxes and all the jazz that goes with it when you're doing freelance. It gets crazy, and there's a lot of liability on your name. So shift all that liability to your company, and the organization and the payments and the everything. It just makes more sense to be in a company. Yeah, here I am today. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with the world, because I've been operating under it for a couple months now. Since January. Yeah, I'm like trying to calculate when the best time to share it with everybody is, because I don't want to like be too premature, but we're feeling good. It's in good shape. So I've been having a good week. I hope you guys have been too. Let me know in the chat if there's anything like crazy you want to celebrate, because I'm just in the mood to like talk about good things. So I'm kind of exhausted from today, because I was working really hard on some stuff, pitching a project, and I'm really excited about, and could mean some really good stuff for the future of the company. So I'm just kind of like on fire. Like I was looking forward to the stream tonight too, but I'm like, I can feel like I've been like hunched over my desk all day today, and like my shoulders are just like fried. So I might need to just relax in my chair, bring the mic back here. What do you think was in that Danish? You think it was cheese? Yeah. Family Guy reference there. Maybe I will relax a little bit. Let's ease off the shoulders. So pardon me for my posture. But we should shift it to the space news here. I am definitely going to be a little more chill. I look a little bit more lazy tonight, but I think I've earned it. So yeah, I saw some big stuff for space this week. Let me move my face here. So I was thinking, about, I've said this before. I call everyone orbiters every time I start a video. What's up, orbiters? Hey, orbiters. What's going on, orbiters? You hear it 1,000 times. I should actually make a video of every time I've said orbiters. It'll just be this massive montage. It'll be like 78 seconds long of just orbiters, orbiter. So yeah, I always thought like it's probably a good refresher to like explain to people why I call them orbiters. If you're watching the video, you're an orbiter. That's my rule of thumb. Ultimately the point is that we are all people who are orbiting the sun together, and we're all around the sun orbiting the center of the galaxy together. Like we're all in this massive system, and we don't even know it. Like you don't feel it. You don't really see it. If you're paying really close attention, you see it. If you look in the right places, you see it. But your everyday life, you don't really notice that all of us, no matter where we are, who we are, where we were growing up, how much money we have, what job you have, what kind of car you drive, it doesn't matter. Like we are all doing one thing in common, and that we are orbiting the sun. And I think that's pretty cool. Like boil it all down, we are the same, and we're doing something collectively together, whether we like it or not, no matter how hard we try. And I think there's also another angle to it, that when you launch into space, and you go fast enough, you orbit the Earth. Or if you go even faster, you leave Earth's gravity and you go to another celestial body like the moon or Mars or another planet or another star, and you will orbit that celestial body, another gravitational well, a gravity well, a center of gravity and space-time. And you're orbiting that. You're always orbiting something. You're never just like drifting away. Something is pulling you. And then you sink into orbit, right? Like, I mean, I guess you can technically drift, but if you're in a star system, like you're going somewhere because of gravitational influence. So again, it's kind of the goal is to become an outer space orbiter, even though we're orbiters as people. And I always like that unity, hence the alliance, orbital alliance, that we are an alliance of humans together who are orbiting. So there's the channel name explanation for you if you've made it this far in the stream. I think let's see. If you need any VO work done, I know a guy. Dude, you're right. 100%, man. Like, no kidding. I will definitely let you know. For sure. You're on my list, man. There's most definitely going to be times where I need voiceover artist. 100%. And that would be paid. It'd be paid, brother. So yeah, we're all an alliance of humans together, no matter where you are. And I want to strain and stress towards that unity goal of, universal peace in pursuit of space exploration. So unity as orbiters exploring together. Does that make sense? Long-winded answer, but probably always good and worth a refresh for you guys. So let's look ahead to space news. What's happened? I saw a bunch of stuff today. Really cool stuff. So we talked about Crew 4 last week. There would be the fourth SpaceX crew launch to the space station. And technically the sixth SpaceX crew launch period using the Crew Dragon spacecraft. So Crew 4 is coming up, I believe, in April. And they've been building new Crew Dragons, so individual ships, and they've named them. The crew who has flown them first gets to name them. So I'm going to see if I can remember them all. Endeavour was the first one that was on Demo 2 with Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken. And then there's Endeavour. Then there's Endurance. And there's Endurance. Resilience was the third one from Crew 3. Is that right? And I think they reused one for Crew 3. I can't remember which order it was. One was reflown. And now there's the fourth one that is coming around. The fourth Dragon one is now officially announced. The name is going to be Freedom. So Crew Dragon Freedom. So you hear on the flight calls, Houston, this is Freedom. Whatever, we're in orbit, whatever, we're having a grand old time up here. So you're always like on the comm control, the intercoms, they use the craft name. Like in the shuttle days, it was, Atlantis, this is Houston, or Discovery, flight to Discovery. This in this case would be Freedom. So I think that's really cool. It's a really great name, and I'm glad they've picked something that is very clear in what it stands for, especially right now. So really, really cool. That's big news. Funny, I saw a tweet here. There's a person on Twitter, Anthony Vareja. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's verified on Twitter at Enterprise_FLT. Enterprise Flight? Who is this guy? 91st NASA Flight Director. Oh, wow. Okay. Call sign Enterprise Flight, supporting operations of space station and commercial crew. This guy is big deal. I'm sorry, I don't know who he is, but I just learned something. So there's NASA astronaut Kjell Lindgren is going to be on this flight. And his name, Kjell, is spelled Kjell. It's a very unique name. I don't know what nationality is, the etymology or the root for that is, but it's pronounced Kjell. And someone said, Anthony said, I'm going to assume that Battlestar Galactica was a solid second place finisher to Freedom on this one, right? I thought that was pretty good. Battlestar Galactica. So I gotta open my stream chat. There we go. Scoot this up here. Great. Okay. Ron, you had something. What is up with SpaceX dumping a company from their schedule? I didn't see that. I saw they picked one up. We can talk about that too. If you know which one they're talking about, let me know that you're talking about. I did not see them drop a company, but that would be worth looking up. But yeah, SpaceX news though. Let's shift to that. It kind of leads right up to it. So with all the hubbub going on between Ukraine and Russia, the Russian space program has been waning, having some issues, and they were supposed to launch the English OneWeb satellites. I think they're supposed to be like a constellation or communications satellites. Supposed to launch, and then all the war began, and they couldn't. Basically, they demanded that England or the company like declare whether or not that was going to be used for military advantage. And when they basically couldn't confirm that, Russia said, "Yeah, we're not flying your rocket we're not flying the rocket to deliver your stuff to space. So we're taking it down." And it was like on the launch stand. So they took that down, and Russia then threw a bunch of like. Let me clarify there. The Russian leadership started throwing some, antagonistic comments towards the American space program and all the other like delivery agencies, kind of just like, hey, you're missing out on one of the best delivery systems in the world, and da. Well, just like maybe a week later, SpaceX picked up the OneWeb order, and they're going to be delivering it to space. So I think that's like, good on SpaceX. Opportunists at their core for sure. And it just shows that commercial space flight is ready and willing, it's capable, and it's experienced. So when something like this happens, boom, you jump on it. It's like, we'll take your product to space. Sure, there's diversity in the marketplace. You don't have to rely on governments. You don't have to rely on the US or Russia to provide stuff to launch providers to go to space. The commercial sector, the private sector, we can do it. It's going to happen. And it's going to get there. You don't have to worry about the risk of like, oh yeah, you've only made like 2 launches and like 14 failures. Like, no, SpaceX has launched like over 100 consecutive rockets successfully. I think you got a good track record there. So really, really cool. So big news there. Because they had a problem with a payload from this company. Do not know the company name. The company puts together payloads of small seats. Maybe satellites. There was a leak in one of the seats, and I guess it could have caused a problem. Oh, for the Crew Dragon, it was a seat problem. Interesting. One of the seats. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. I saw Eric Berger make some good tweets today. We've talked about Eric Berger. He's a huge space journalist, probably senior editor at Ars Technica. Big voice in the space news. Sats. Okay. I was assuming autocorrect kicked in there and was taken over. Seats felt weird, but satellites. Okay. But yeah, I still didn't hear that story. That's very interesting though. So Eric Berger said, regarding NASA's announcement today, there are a lot of new moon missions. So let's talk about this. NASA had a budget to return humans to the moon, right? So they started building SLS, the new rocket system, space launch system, and Orion, the capsule to put humans in on top of SLS. We talked about that rolling out, or did we? We forgot to, I think. But it occurred to me. Anyway, excuse me, I'm trying to burp. So they built SLS and they're funding that, but they also are contracting out other launch providers and landing systems, and cargo delivery from commercial sector that's part of the contracting. SpaceX won the human landing system contract, and there was a huge war between them and Blue Origin and one other provider, and Blue Origin lost out. They threw a huge fit. It delayed the whole program. It was nasty. But SpaceX won it, and they got all the money. And they just announced today that they're actually going to open up another bid for a second human landing system for the moon. So SpaceX got one, and my guess is Blue Origin is going to fight tooth and nail to get that spot. Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' company. So we'll, yeah. Oh, hey Josh, what's up, man? I'll get to you in a second. So it's pretty big news. So Eric, SpaceX had one uncrewed landing and one crew, which is going to be Artemis 3. Those are the bids that they got, which is cool. So delivering crew to the moon. And now they're getting another uncrewed landing and a crewed landing. So they're like doubling their opportunities to provide a human landing system on the moon. A second company will get development money and perform uncrewed and crewed landing. Again, that's Eric Berger from Ars Technica. So the second company, again, I'm going to bet heavily will be Blue Origin. They got a lot of stake in the game. And Dynetics, thank you, Ron. It's Dynetics. I haven't heard a peep from them about any of this, and maybe they did, but Blue Origin just kicked up so much dirt around there. It was just hard to see. But I'd be curious if Dynetics would push again, so give Blue Origin a run for their money. We'll see. Either way, great competition. Make it happen. Make better products. Make it safer for humans to land on the moon. Make it make it easy to land humans on the moon. So Blue Origin, go get it. Dynetics, go get it. Any other companies out there? Sierra Space, I don't know, Boeing, rise to the occasion. Drive in, grab that cash from NASA, from Congress itself, and get humans to the moon safely. Boeing might be tricky because they're already struggling to get the CST-100 Starliner up and running for commercial crew. They're years behind and still have plenty of time with that. So Boeing's probably not on the table for that. So I thought that was pretty huge news. And Josh, so you asked about what Funko is that. Weezer, my favorite band, came out with their new EP, their new album this past weekend, spring. So I featured Rivers Cuomo, the lead singer and frontman of Weezer. And I said I may have featured him once before, but his new album came out. The four of them. I wish they made the other three of the band, but they're the featured Funko of the week because of Seasons Spring. Other space news. I had one here. I feel like I took some notes here. Maybe I covered most of it. Sorry. Okay. I do want to share some really cool pictures here. I may have mentioned astrophotographer John Kraus before. Immensely successful, very young astrophotographer and launch photographer, and just photographer in general, based out of Florida. I think he's 22, 23, young guy, and has been shooting. He's shot literally over 140 launches, 150 maybe. I don't know if he reached the number yet. But at that age, that's incredible. I haven't even shot one. I tried to, but didn't work. And this dude's like crazy experienced. But he's been shooting images of NASA's SLS rocket, which has rolled out to the launch pad for kind of like a practice run here. This is the first of the SLS rockets with Orion on top. And they rolled it from the Vehicle Assembly Building at Kennedy Space Center in Florida on the crawler all the way down to Launch Pad 39B. SpaceX has 39A, and I think Artemis, the NASA mission to the moon, will have 39B. And they have pictures of it, and it's gorgeous. All the influencers out there are capturing beautiful photos. And I wonder if I can get away with this in the stream. I don't know. But I'm just going to pull this up here. Nice. I thought that was Austin Powers from a distance. I wish I had Austin Powers. That's like the next thing I need to get for sure. But he does look like it, doesn't he? Did I like trigger the color white balance over here? Hold on. Get my skin. Check my face here. My camera's white balance just like took off. Sorry, guys. Does that help at all? What did I do? This? Was it this? I don't know. I don't know what it takes to get the white balance back on me and not the lights. Sorry, my camera image changed a little bit. So the rocket is orange. It looks like a Space Shuttle 2.0 rocket system. It's like an orange fuel tank with two white boosters on the side. Instead of like a space shuttle being tacked onto the side of the orange fuel tank, the capsule is on the top. So let me show you this. This is a photo from John Kraus with the sun rising. There's a pelican or some kind of bird, like a crane or something up here in the corner. I'll use my new pointer here because I figured that out. So SLS is right here on the launch tower. And here's the kind of the lightning towers here on the side. I think that's what they do. They like draw lightning away from the launch system. And you got the sun here in the middle. Very, very cool picture. Taken from a bridge near probably Titusville, just west of Kennedy. Beautiful picture. And he took a picture just like it. Here's John's Twitter. Go check it out. Support his photography. He sells prints. A lot of those guys sell prints. But let me find the picture we took. The same picture pretty much, but with the moon rising. Here it is. Look at this. Same picture. It's at nighttime. The moon is rising. And it's very red. You're looking through the atmosphere. It's refracting red light, making the moon appear red. The moon's not actually red. It's just kind of like the light that hits you. It's the only light that gets through the bent atmosphere. Just stunning photography. And a lot of these guys are delivering epic pictures. So go support those guys. Look up their stuff on Twitter. Give John a follow. So many people out there doing cool stuff. Johnny, thanks for following me on Twitter on Orbital Alliance there. I just got the notification. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. So let's talk about the SLS a little bit. So now that it's rolled out, I don't know what the plan is, if they're going to roll it back or when that's supposed to actually launch, because I don't think there's a launch on the schedule anytime soon. The Artemis program is NASA's mission. It's like the successor to Apollo. And the mythological story, and Josh, check me on this. The Roman god or Greek Roman god of Apollo. His sister was Artemis. And I don't know the whole story there, but they're kind of tying it in there to be like those are moon related, and it's also supposed to be the first program where they're going to land the first woman on the moon. So they're representing, the female side of the missions, with Artemis being a female goddess. Very, very cool. Oh yeah. Welcome back to Twitter, man. It's a dangerous game. I think you were the one who actually got me on Twitter back at RTX in 2014 when I first signed up. So you might be, the blame for my addiction to Twitter. So Artemis is trying to, they're going to get people back to the moon. They're going to do a mission where they launch around the moon uncrewed first with Orion. They're going to practice that and make sure everything works. And then they'll do, I think, a cargo landing, maybe, or a crewed one around the moon, kind of like Apollo 10. They'll put a crew in there and like fly it around. And then I think Artemis 3, which SpaceX will be providing for, they'll deliver humans to the moon, land on the surface, establish some kind of base there, and then come back home. I don't know when. I need to learn more about what their plans are for Artemis 3. Going beyond that, I think they're probably going to just keep going. As long as they have funding from Congress, they're going to keep contracting and getting providers. And with the commercial sector available, they can just keep going. Really, really cool. Exciting. They're going to bring more people to the moon faster, more reliably. Think about the computers that they had for the Apollo program in the 60s and the early 70s. Your phone is like 10,000 times better than than that of the entire Saturn V rocket and the command module and that it's just unbelievable. And that made it to the moon. So now with the like supercomputers you can pack into any of these ships, touch screens, good user interfaces, high processing power, reliable processors, digital interfaces and not analog, less risk of fire. All of it is just great. So we're going to be in for some amazing future. And all this is supposed to start happening in the mid 2020s to late 2020s. So guys, in the few years here, there's supposed to be on the moon again. People will be on the moon. Greek, although the Roman Apollo had the same name, Artemis and Apollo were twins. I think Artemis was Diana. Okay, thank you for the clarification. Our resident history teacher, Josh, is saving my neck yet again. Thank you very much. Pardon me while I get a drink of water. So it's gonna be pretty cool to watch that and to kind of, can you imagine what it's gonna be like one day when we go outside and you see the moon at night or even during the day and you're just like, there's people on that. Not every human is on the Earth right now, or even just like around the Earth. They're over there. They're 238,000 miles in the sky, away in the sky, and I can see it. And there's people there. It happened in the 60s, but I was not around for that, and even then it was only a few days when that was a possibility. Gosh, I wonder the cumulative time that humans were present on the moon. It's probably like what, 3, 4, 5 days per mission, something like that. And then, times 6 missions. So maybe at the most a month, not even less than a month of time in history if humans had somebody on the moon away from Earth where people could look at the moon and be like, people are there. So pretty crazy. It's going to be, you just have to wrap your head, rewrite the definitions in your head a little bit. It's going to break me. I don't know what I'm going to think. And even just for everyday people, normal people who don't care about space they're going to have to think about this. Hey, Kiffer. What's up, dude? Welcome to the stream. How's it going, man? Tommy Lee Jones is still up there? Oh no. Wait, what movie is that reference to? I may have missed that one. Space Cowboys or something like that? I don't remember what he was in. Let's see. I'm looking up Tommy Lee Jones here. Yeah, Space Cowboys. Was it that one? Is that what you're talking about? I thought he was in that. He was in Ad Astra too. Space Cowboys. Okay, great. I think I've only seen that movie once. There's Donald Sutherland in it, right? Is that one? Am I thinking of the same movie? Yeah. Oddball himself. Dude, yeah, everyone's joining in. Hey, Greg. Nice. We got a good group here. I'll come back around to you in a second, Greg, real quick. But yeah, I think it's gonna be just really cool. Everyday people are gonna have to think about that, because sometimes people don't think about things that are actually happening until it gets kind of thrust in their face. And there's gonna be global coverage about people on the moon again. It's gonna invade timelines. It's gonna invade news. Hopefully as much as it did in the 60s and the 70s. And I know that was part of the problem was after Apollo 11, steam was like sucked out of the PR. Those guys, it was like old news. Oh, people on the moon, whatever. I hope it really pushes forward, because this is going to be so much more visible. They'll have good cameras, HD color cameras on the moon, capturing live broadcasts and reeling it back to Earth, like in real time images from the moon with people there. Some of the astronauts that are in the astronaut corps right now are training for this. They're going to be the people who go back. They've already picked some of those people for Artemis 3, I think. So we kind of almost know who the first women and the first women and the first men to go back are going to be. So let's return to your question there, Greg. Earth, a thought. Here is a deep thought for you. If climate change changes the Earth drastically, do you think humans on Earth would have to wear suits to survive? Ooh, enviro suits. I'm thinking a lot of another Mass Effect reference here, but the Quarians in Mass Effect, they've been away from their home planet so long that they can't go back, so they have to wear suits, environmental suits. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but I have a hard time thinking that humanity would survive in that state. Very temporarily, yes, but humans are adaptable, creative, and have the will to survive, but I think the population would dwindle significantly because you got to keep clean within those suits, and it's going to be hard to clean yourself if you can't take yourself out of it safely. You'd have to rely on living underground and living in habitats like the space station or like biodomes, stuff that can really scrub air and climates. And if your suit gets contaminated, or if your suit, just grows mold or gets dirty, harbors disease, humanity's gone like that. It's just going to spread if you're in a suit or not. So I think it would be a very temporary thing. It depends on if they'd have a good plan for recovering the Earth or getting off of it. Because it depends on the time span. If it were like more than a generation, I'd probably say it's pretty risky. But again, I don't know anything about anything. It's just my guess. Kiffer, do you have a favorite space movie? Absolutely. It is Interstellar. Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. For sure. The first time I saw it in IMAX in 2014, I was like melting in my theater chair. I couldn't stop thinking about it for like 2 days straight after it. I was like, it permeated my being, and it was like drawing me so deeply into the music and the feeling and the thought process, the visuals. I was like, I couldn't take my mind off of it. It just controlled my body and my spirit for a couple of days. It was so good. And I watched the movie regularly. It still gets to me, even though I've seen it dozens of times now. Definitely my favorite movie, space movie. Good question. The South will use still suits. Dune reference. Oh, there you go. Since I've only seen the movie once, I'm still not really up to the lore or the references, unfortunately. But there's an audience here that would. Josh, you for sure get it too. I'm definitely due for another Dune watch, I think. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm really up for another good space movie. I always was hoping for Interstellar 2 to come around. I'm perfectly okay if they don't, but I would just love to see more content. I really enjoy Matthew McConaughey's acting, and I would like to see what happens with Cooper and the future. But I think there's a lot of room for it to go off the rails with some weird stuff. So I feel like they'll play it safe. I've heard zero rumors about it. There's probably not enough demand for it. And Christopher Nolan is constantly moving to like really unique concepts for his films. So we'll see what happens, but I think Interstellar 2 would be cool. I'd want to see how they would, if he would make it to Dr. Brand, to further that mission. And I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't seen it beyond that. Maybe like a minor spoiler there, but I would love to see what happens if that's the case. So who knows? Probably won't happen anytime soon. Let's see what else is going on here. The suits are the desert suits that prevent water loss and recycle it to be drunk. Oh yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Those things are crazy. I really like that. And they got those like right before they went into the Thopters, right? Yeah. Kiffer, another one. If you were moving into the moon, if you were moving to the moon and could only take one Funko Pop, what would it be? Oh man, you hit it out of the park with that one. Ooh. Goodness gracious, that's a tough one. Let's see here. There are probably multiple right answers and probably multiple wrong answers. Because it's really hard to determine the right answer and not just make it like, what's your favorite Funko Pop? Which, you know, what is the right one to bring to the moon? And I assume maybe that means beyond what I own, but it's hard to think about what those are. So I'm just going to limit myself to the like 60 of them that are right here. All right. Well, there is only, I think, one that's coming to mind that's like far and above. Josh, I know you're not going to like this, but I stand by my love for this one and the character. And it just makes sense because it's in his name. But Space Ghost. I love Space Ghost. From Space Ghost Coast to Coast in the 90s on Cartoon Network. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Space Ghost in space? Right? Gosh, I love Space Ghost. And this is one of the original Funko Pops that like, it was like the old design. But yeah, I would put Space Ghost up there. So we'll put him here. He's going to the moon, right? If I ever go to the moon, I'll take Space Ghost. There you go. And why? Yeah, I mean, other than the caveat of his name being Space in there, I just think it looks cool. I mean, think about like, Josh says yuck. I know. You can say yuck. I'll say yay. Thinking about like what looks good against, moon dirt, which is called regolith, like moon dirt. Like, I think the white would look, the red would, the yellow would really pop with that Funko Pop, pun intended. So I would stick him in the dirt there and leave it there, and I think he would look pretty bomb. I think he would look awesome. I like that question. It's good. Let's pick like a second and a third here. I also think it'd be pretty awesome to put the Fonz on the moon. Right? Arthur Fonzarelli. Hey, I'm on the moon. Sit on it. And just for pure exploration and design, I would also probably pick Leonardo da Vinci. Just because of his invention and, trying to make humanity better. The attitude there. I think it's a cool homage to everything that Da Vinci stood for, going to the moon. Let's go on your stand. But other than that, it might be just a host of Star Wars Funkos, Darth Vader. Got Darth Vader here. He makes noise. Can you hear that? A Stormtrooper would be a great choice. Oh, come on. Quiet, you. Darth Revan would be great. Luke Skywalker. All right, lots of great choices to go to the moon. Space Ghost is the OG. To take Da Vinci to the moon, you must reach it with his glider. Yeah, you have to go on the flying machine. Da Vinci would make Elon Musk look like a third grader if he were alive today, right? Sorry, Elon. Not sorry. But Da Vinci, ahead of his time. Just don't fly too close to the sun or else it will burn, of course. I'm surprised there haven't been more Da Vinci references to space. I think there was So, in the space shuttle program days, there were cargo modules delivered to the space station in the space shuttle. They were assembled, I believe, by the European Space Agency, ESA. And I think they were all named after famous artists, Renaissance artists, like Donatello and Da Vinci, things like that. But they named it Leonardo. I think one of them was named Leonardo. I think they call them MPLMs, multi-purpose logistic modules. MPLM names. Let's see. Oh, goodness. This is an article from 2001 that I just found. Ooh. Raffaello, Leonardo, and Donatello were 3 of them. I thought there were 5. Maybe I'm remembering something else. Leonardo, Raffaello. They brought him up and down on the shuttle. Maybe there's just the 3. So yeah, there we go. That's the one reference that I know of that they've brought in Da Vinci into. Pretty cool. So hopefully there's some more reference maybe to his designs or his creativity or art. And I hope some art makes some more presence in the space world in the future. You know, I think it deserves it. And that's what the Dear Moon mission is supposed to be about with Yusaka Maezawa. We've talked about that on the stream before. Kiffer says, I've seen lots of videos about how you do daily tasks while in space, like zero gravity, microgravity. Which do you think is the hardest? Oh yeah, so you mean like every day, like things that you do on Earth every day, like brushing your teeth, getting dressed, like eating, stuff like that? Is that what you mean? Like which would be the hardest to do up there? Let me know if that's what you mean, Kiffer, and I'll answer you. Roger Klein, what's up, Roger? Thanks for making the stream, dude. Good to have you back. All caps, Roger. But are they named for artists or Ninja Turtles? Pizza. Yeah, right. Oh gosh. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's been a long time since I've seen anything about that. I never saw the live action movie they made it several years ago. Probably a good question. Those Europeans, probably big TMNT fans, you know? Hey, I think the white Wikipedia page on my monitor here has like balanced out the white balance on my monitor. I just got to do that. It's a very white page and it's making my face, like if I take it away, what happens? And it's just a little bit darker, but I like that. It's another fill light here. Yeah, like showering, brushing your teeth, and what have you. Yeah, like normal everyday tasks. I mean, I've watched a lot of Chris Hadfield stuff, and occasionally some other astronauts like talking about that. You know, what's like how do you do those things? The one that I find one of the most interesting is brushing your teeth. You know, because there is no running water, there's no tap on the space station because it would just float away and just bubbles. Gravity doesn't pull it down into a sink, so it just kind of. You can't spit into a sink and spit all your toothpaste wad into the into the sink and wash it away. Like you have to actually like swallow your toothpaste or spit it into a rag, which sounds disgusting and probably not healthy, but they say it's safe. Won't kill you, apparently, to quote Chris Hadfield. But I can't say I've ever done that except for once where I was out like camping, and Kayla and I were like. Yeah, we were loosely camping, staying at a farm, a private property, and we were at the home of somebody else that we knew, and I was like, I don't feel good, like spitting out my toothpaste. We brush our teeth outside, and I was like, I feel bad, like spitting this out into their yard, even though it's kind of like prairie land. Let's just pull an astronaut and swallow it. So we both did, just to try it, and it was not pleasant. You know, it's weird. It's like minty foam. It's not food, and you swallow this huge like mouthful of like spit and tooth debris and toothpaste. It's not great. So I would toothpaste or toothbrushing is weird. You know, I mean, of course, the going to the bathroom has probably got to be the weirdest thing, probably the hardest. If you don't know. The toilets up there are like little outhouses in the space station or in any of the spacecraft. For I'll keep it clean here. For number 1, it's a tube with like a yellow end to portray urine, and then to represent urine. And there's like a little bit of like vacuum suction to it, so you like have to pee in a tube, and that's the same for men and women. And then also for number 2, it's like a little can with a seat, and you kind of like hold yourself down like using bars on the side, and you can like hold yourself to it and you go number 2 in the can, and it's like a little canister, and it also has like fan suction. But I would have to imagine that's tricky without gravity, because obviously if you're like excreting waste here on Earth, pretty easy. You sit on a toilet, things happen, things drop. Out there, things just, you can push. This is getting very real. This is getting very real, and I gotta be careful here. You can push, but things just float. So you need help. And I hear that there are methods to assist with that. There are gloves and boxes on the walls in the space toilet bathroom to help assist yourself deliver certain waste products into the right place. I am, again, being as vague as I possibly can. I'm trying not to like get demonetized for talking about weird stuff. I'm not getting money out of this, but I don't want to get there. I'm thinking future thinking here. Think about it. If that's a daily task, daily, maybe every other day, you got to get good at that. And I would imagine that's pretty hard. So that was the question, right? What's the hardest? Yeah, probably the bathroom stuff. Everything else maybe becomes easy. Swallowing toothpaste, probably easier. Showering, I mean, you just wipe yourself down with rags and wipes. Like, you use like no rinse shampoo and a towel. Hair's clean. Or you just buzz your head. It's simple if you're a dude. I think everything else is more challenging, but manageable. Going to the bathroom, probably tough. Long-winded answer, but good questions. Oh, we got more stuff. We got a lot of stuff here. Thank you, guys. We're doing great today. All right, Roger. Okay, so I stumbled across this on Reddit, and I want to ask you, what's your thoughts on the dark forest theory? Why haven't we detected or heard from aliens yet? Dark forest theory. I am not familiar with that one. Let me Google search it. This is safe to Google search, right? You're dropping knowledge on me, Roger. There's a book. Oh, here. BigThink.com. A terrifying explanation of why we haven't heard from aliens yet. Well, let's see. Sorry, I'm going to read for a second here. Oh yeah, Kiffer, maybe there's different toothpaste. I think they actually just have normal toothpaste. Like Crest off the shelf stuff. It's possible maybe there's some like special stuff up there, but I think a lot of like personal care products for the most part are just like normal everyday stuff. But some of it I'm sure they have to get NASA manufactured or contractor. Josh, demonetized for obscene content. I know, right? Human waste removal. Sorry, I'm going to put a pause on your article there, Roger, 1 second, because Johnny, how do you think a fart wafts through a room of space in space? Well, dude, actually the airflow is incredible in the space station because they have to keep it moving. We may have mentioned it on here before, but there are tubes that like kind of run through the space station and vents that are air circulators. There's a big problem with being in microgravity because just like humans floating or anything of any weight floating without gravity, even air pockets float. They don't move, they don't fall, they don't distribute as well. So carbon dioxide bubbles from, if you breathe too much in one area, there's going to be like a bubble of CO2, and that's not good to breathe. You don't want to breathe that. They have to keep the air circulating really well, especially in little corners of the space station where like that might pocket up. So there's like tubes running through it. There's fans and vents and everything pushing air. So there's always like this hum on the space station because it's the equipment and then the air ventilation system. So I would imagine if you ripped one on the space station, it would move around pretty quickly. It wouldn't be just still for very long. It'd probably drift into the next module. Yeah, I have heard, that like basically every astronaut has tried to propel themselves using flatulence. I guess it's a thing everybody tries, and I would be honest, I would try it too, even though I know it doesn't work. But the simple answer is it doesn't work. There's not enough thrust, and and this might also become anatomically disgusting, but to propel something like in a rocket per se, the only reason a rocket goes anywhere is because you have a massive amount of energy and thrust going through a tiny little area, aka the nozzle, and that has to be well engineered the right way to push something forward in the other direction. So humans are not built with the correct nozzle. So even if you bring space Taco Bell up there, I don't think it would be enough. The places we're going tonight, guys, the places we're going. Oh man, I love it. These are all going to be t-shirts one day in the future Orbital Alliance t-shirt store merch shop. Space Taco Bell, human nozzles. So back to this question that Roger had about the dark forest theory and why we haven't heard or detected from aliens yet. So let's read this article real quick. Let me just gather my brain here. The Drake equation apparently determines the possibility of civilizations, the number of alien civilizations in the galaxy that should have. What does that say? The number of alien civilizations the galaxy should have can be determined by an equation, the Drake equation. Interesting. When you plug all those things into the formula, you can find that there should be at least 20 civilizations in our cosmic neighborhood. Probably the Milky Way galaxy. This makes the fact that we have yet to find another life in the cosmos almost shocking when you think about it. Yeah, then again, even the Milky Way is as huge as, as local as it is a huge place. Huge place. So big. I mean, we haven't done much to reach out of our star system. There's radio waves that have made it out, but not that far, by the terms of, reach. Even radio waves, as fast as they travel, and as far as they can travel, still haven't made it that far in the Milky Way. So let's read on here. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here so I can share some stuff with you guys. Some propose that life starting at all is rare. Others suggest that the development of intelligence is the bottleneck. So yeah, I mean, you got to think about that. Life, period, or intelligent life, the big question. So it's a dark spin on Fermi's, what do they call it? The Fermi paradox, right? I've heard of that, but I couldn't tell you what it is. So one solution, however, is a bit darker. The dark forest solution explains why we haven't heard from aliens. The reasoning is laid out best by the science fiction novel The Dark Forest by Lou Cixin. I don't know how you pronounce that. Cixin. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say how I pronounce that. He is a Chinese author. Pronounce Lou. That pronunciation phonetically, I don't know what that's suggesting to me. Weird. Okay, the argument is laid out like this in the novel. All life desires to stay alive. There is no way to know if other life forms can or will destroy you if given a chance. Lacking assurances, the safest option for any species is to annihilate other life forms before they have a chance to do the same. Okay. Yeah, that's like survival of the fittest / kind of cutthroat. So here's a paragraph from the novel. The universe is a dark forest. Every civilization is an armed hunter stalking through the trees like a ghost, gently pushing aside branches that block the path, and trying to tread without sound. Even breathing is done with care. The hunter has to be careful because everywhere in the forest are stealthy hunters like him. If he finds another life, another hunter, angel, or demon, a delicate infant to tottering old man, a fairy or a demigod, there's only one thing he can do: open fire and eliminate them. there's the dark part and the forest part. So let's see, where does it tie into the Drake equation? So it says it was also put forth by scientist David Brin as a potential solution to the lack of radio evidence for alien life. Oh, interesting. Okay. So they're saying if there is multiple, say there were 20, like their kind of theory in the equation, the Drake equation, that 20 advanced civilizations in our galaxy. This theory suggests that before they could achieve radio technology to communicate beyond their planet, they were killed or killed off or annihilated. For survival. There's like this, the dark forest part of it, that other people were just meant to be like eliminated and get out of their way. So maybe there's only one successful civilization out there. We'll have to read more about this later. Sorry, this is kind of like a prolonged section here, but I was really curious to read about it. I interpreted it as stay hidden if you don't think you can win a war with another civilization. Got it. So don't go broadcasting like we are. We're here. We're Earth. Here's some probes with little gold records on it with drawings of naked people and like animals and sounds. Come find us. Lob. Would you want us to show up on your doorstep? No. Hey, we're humans. We love war, and we also hate ourselves a lot. Want to be our friend, right? That's, probably a really, really pessimistic way of making fun of humans, but unfortunately, it's kind of where we're at. Unfortunately, underlined. Very interesting, Roger. I'll leave that article open and read the rest of it another time, but pretty nuts. It is 9:19. So probably start wrapping up here shortly, but if you guys want to keep talking, looks like we got a good group here. So throw questions in the chat. We'll keep going. Any discussion points, any discussion questions you guys got, let me know. Space stuff, space related, space theory, space history. Always wondered ifs or what's, or let's see what we can do. Gosh, what is happening? I've been trying to think about future astrophotography, and I know last week I went about this, like what things I'm going to shoot next. I do have a trip booked at the end of May to do some Milky Way photography. I'll travel, somewhat far, but not far, pretty close. I'm going to go to Door County and check out some Milky Way photography up there. That'll be fun. But that's the next thing I got in my mind. I would love to do some space station photography, but man, again, the weather keeps being very touchy and temperamental. Every time it's clear, no events. Every time there's an event, it's cloudy or rainy or snowy or all of the above. It's annoying. Spring is just rough. Did the latest manned SpaceX get delayed? Crew 4? Are you talking about Axiom 1? That's supposed to be at the end of the month. I think it's still going at the normal time. 12 days away. Is that April then? That's April then. Maybe it did get pushed a little bit. Human nozzle. Yeah, right. I mean, it's what it is, right? Let's call it what it is. That reminds me. Where did I write it? I wrote down something funny this week, kind of related. Is it on this? Yes. Okay. Come here for astrophotography. Wyoming is empty. I would love to come to Wyoming, man. Can I come stay with you? That would be awesome. We can hang out and we can both go out there and just try not to get eaten by bears or mauled by like wolves. But we will shoot the Milky Way and do really cool stuff. It'll be awesome. And I've never been to Wyoming, so that would be a checklist. Reminds me of when I took the day off for the 2017 eclipse and then it was cloudy. Massive bummer, man. Massive bummer. I remember you telling me that. Definitely. Or San Diego. Beautiful weather all the time. Dude, San Diego, another town I've never been to. And Kiffer, I know I keep saying this. I have to come visit you. I'm on my list. I gotta live it all out. Dude. San Diego's. I wonder what we could try to pull off there. What would be a cool shot in San Diego? The West Coast. Far enough from any sort of Vandenberg launches, right? Out by LA. But we might be able to make a trip of it. But they don't launch much from Vandenberg Air Force Base. Space Force Base now, right? I think. But there'll probably be some cool like water shots you could pull off over the ocean. Well, thanks, Roger. I got to figure it out. I'm going to visit everybody that's on the stream. Let's just make that happen. So this was a thing. I came up with this question for myself. I think did I just give myself a paper cut yesterday. And this is, I mean, let's relate space exploration to humanity, and we'll just tie that in here. I had this question for myself. How would you describe human beings in one sentence or less? Like, what's your most compact and succinct definition of human beings? And I would love to hear what you guys have the answer for to that. And I'll give you mine in a moment. So if you have an idea for that question, put it in the chat. What is the briefest, most succinct definition for human beings that you can think of? Human beings. If you explain all of humanity in one sentence or less, a phrase, even one word. One word's fine. But let's keep it clean, of course. Respectful, but also I'm open to humorous stuff. But I thought it was a really interesting question. And I think we all answer it pretty differently. Solar transit at sunset. Yeah, that would be possible. Although challenging, I've attempted this or tried to. What's tricky about solar transits that aren't high in the sky, like midday, when they're low at sunrise or sunset, is there's more air between you and the sun. So there's a lot more of like air turbulence, atmospheric diffraction, and which means the space station clarity would be harder to achieve. Not impossible, just harder. And there's also more distance between you and the space station at this length than you are, because when it's right above you, it's like the closest the station can get. Because then after that, you're at an angle, because the space station travels on a curve. So it's coming around the Earth and back over you. So the closest it can be is right above you at about, 250 miles. Any distance in another direction, you start to add miles at a time. And then you start to be like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles more, 1,000 miles away that way. So the space station won't appear as large to you as it would above you. So it would look a lot smaller closer to the horizon. Again, not impossible. You'd see it. You just might see a dot instead of solar panels. But also potential for something really cool if there was like a lighthouse in the frame, and using your solar filter, if you could get the sun with a silhouette of a lighthouse and then the space station going through it, now you're onto something. So still a good idea and still worth looking into if you have the right pass, for sure. Humans, a species who is interested in advancing its future, but also simultaneously destroying its future. Accurate 100%. Joking, but that's my one word definition. I don't think it made it through, Josh. Did you delete it by accident? You You just have the parentheses in there. Send it to me. Ron. Ron's is a little more in line with mine. Sentient mobile bags of water. Yes. It's perfect. Anyone else got one? Again, which the challenge here is, what is your most succinct and yet clear, short, clear definition of human beings? One sentence or less. Could be a phrase, could be a word. It's up to you. Okay. There you go. All right. Well, now you're onto something. And Josh, you and I are probably thinking they're the same way here. So Josh said meat bags. Consistency of bags here. Now I'll tell you mine. Mine is Josh's with 2 other words. Meat bags with ideas. That was mine. I had way too much fun with it. I don't know why. And I was like, that's what we are. We're just bags of flesh and water and meat and bones. And I like it. Sentient mobile bags of water, sentient bags of water, meat bags with ideas. I think that's what we are. But you could expand upon those. Meat bags who love to both advance themselves and kill themselves at the same time. That's like all 4 of ours put into one. Yeah, very interesting. I love it. I think it's a cool exercise sometimes, is like to really, really bring in the limits on a question. Because you could write a whole book on what it means to be a human being. You could write series of books, tomes. What does it mean to be a human being? And it still wouldn't be right. But it's like, limit it to what's a sentence? What's half a sentence? How would you describe this in one word? And suddenly you get creative, Which reminds me, Josh, that we still need an HK-47 Funko Pop. Am I right? I'm getting thirsty. All right, you guys. 9:30. It's been an hour and a half. Last call for questions, thoughts, prompts for discussion, anything related to space that we got, or human existence at this point. Also bodily functions in space, right? Let's see. Anything I'm missing? Spacey related. Just breezing through the twits really quick. See if there's anything I'm missing that I thought was interesting this week that I may have forgotten. And off the top of my head, I'm not seeing much, but yeah, that's okay. All right. Oh, Johnny, you got one. Will you join Bowie's party in space that he's late for? Yeah, absolutely. Dude, if I ever actually go to space, I will throw a party for Bowie. And I will start at a time. I'll start at 7 p.m., but I won't show up to it until 7:20. I'm making it happen one day. It's going to happen. And I will invite Bowie, but he'll never show up. So, prophecy fulfilled. For those wondering, it's a Flight of the Conchords David Bowie reference. So look that episode up. Fun fact, if we go to Point Nemo, the closest people to us will be the ones on the space station. Point Nemo. Is that like the top of Everest? Is that what that is? Is that right? Like outpost or like checkpoint. What do they call those on mountain climbing? Base stations. Correct me if I'm wrong, Roger. I don't know enough about mountain climbing. Point Nemo. Oh, is that? Where is that? South Pacific Ocean. Is that part of the Earth like shaped higher? It's the most remote point, is it? It's the most remote point of the world. Point in the ocean furthest from any land. Also near. Oh, got it. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I'm just catching on here. You guys are dropping some knowledge on me. It's also near Cthulhu. Where as they say, Cthulhu is in his mythos. Farthest point from any land. Okay, so right, great. So if you went there, you're not near anywhere else, but the space station goes over 250 miles above you. If it goes right above you, then humans are. I mean, I guess if it's even near you, the space station is even near you on the horizon, it's closer. Humans are closer to you than anywhere else on the planet, right? That's a really interesting thought. I wonder if there's probably plenty of other points where that's the case. I guess all you need to be is. So whatever the distance the space station is, so I don't know the numbers. When it's above you, it's 250 miles away, like 90 degrees straight up, zenith. But if it's on the horizon, it's some miles away, more. So if you're at least 1,000 miles away from any other landmass with humans on it, it will be the closest thing to you. So Point Nemo for sure, probably a lot of other places in the ocean where there are no other islands that have human presence. 1,600 plus miles from land. Okay. You want to go? Yeah. So what? Are there like little atolls or something there? Let's see. Oh, right. Hold on. I just discovered something that is kind of spurring a memory. Point Nemo, the space station cemetery. That's right. Isn't that where they decommission satellites and rockets and stuff? Because it's far away from people. It wouldn't hurt people. They just they deorbit burn and burn up, and any debris that comes after the burn lands at Point Nemo or somewhere around it. Okay. So maybe not at Point Nemo, but around it. Kind of between Australia, New Zealand, and South America. The Pitcairn Islands. Kind of in there. I don't know. I don't know enough. Okay, just water. Yeah, maybe that's where... Okay, so that's where Mir, Space Station Mir, the Russian space station, deorbited. That's pretty crazy. Nemo means no one in Latin. There's no one within an area of 22 million square kilometers. Definitely don't want to get that wrong. It's a very different thing. So there's the fun fact. The closest people are in the space station orbiting at 400 kilometers above the Earth. So there's that fact, yeah. You are correct, Roger. Roger that. You can't tell me you haven't gotten that a million times in your life, am I right? But Space Station Mir, I never got to see it, but yeah, it's just chill, with the debris of it is just chilling in the ocean. I wonder if they could find it. That'd be a fun mission. Look for chunks of space station. And again, I've talked about it before. I will cry when the International Space Station deorbits in 2031 or whatever it's supposed to deorbit. I will cry. It's like someone dying to me. Ooh, I don't want to think about it. All right. Good stuff, everybody. I'm going to call it here. It's late. My voice is hoarse and I'm thirsty and I would like to wind down for bed very soon. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Good stream. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll be back again for stream number 18 next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central. And come prepared with your space questions, space discussion, and space knowledge to drop on me, because I definitely learned something tonight about Point Nemo and dark forest theory, and many other things. But yeah, this was a good one. Thanks, everybody. This is awesome. I'm trying to think. Yeah, if you're somehow tuning into the stream, you've never been here before and you've made it this long, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Orbital Alliance. Would appreciate a subscription if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for considering that. If not, no worries. Maybe even just a like on the video would be much appreciated. So wherever you are in the world, Wyoming, San Diego, North Carolina, all the people watching from different places, Illinois, everywhere in between, y'all are. Here's this Illinois person dropping y'all. You all are part of the Orbital Alliance, and I appreciate being a part of it with you. So thank you very much. So take it easy. Have some good night, nerd. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the pot calling the kettle black. I don't know. Who knows? Let's play some Minecraft soon, man. But yeah, all right. You guys have a great week. Hopefully some more videos come out soon on the channel itself without streaming, but keep an eye out for those. All right. See you on the other side, everybody. Oh, and Denver. Johnny says Denver. Sorry. And Denver, Colorado. That's right. I'm back. I've never done that. See you guys later. Go Denver.